And now for another story we're across today. In Canada, police in riot gear have swept through the capital, arresting 170 demonstrators in 2 days and towing away trucks taking part in the Freedom Convoy. That's as the government tries to finally stamp out protests that have gone on now for almost a month. Those are the protests against the no jab, no job COVID mandates. Well, to talk about this latest development, we're joined live now by Freedom Convoy protester Jim Kerr, who's in Ottawa. Jim, welcome to RT International.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, Jim, is there shock at the extent of this crackdown, including police holding basically peaceful protesters?
No, I wouldn't say there's shock. I mean, we knew that the government didn't, aspects of the government didn't want us there. And we knew that they used everything at their disposal to make sure that we weren't there. So no, it wasn't shocking at all. I mean, it was disturbing, but not shocking.
Mm-hmm. Have you got any personal experience of this latest crackdown by the Canadian police that you can share with us?
Well, yeah. I mean, a year and a month ago, I was at a protest out in Toronto on Yonge Dundas Square on the sidewalk. And we have 3 different camera angles of the police arresting me for supposedly obstructing police and breaking my thumb, putting me in jail and then putting conditions on me. That was a year ago, first time I'd ever been arrested. And but we've been pretty hard at it since then. So we've seen a lot of these kind of conflicts, never to this degree and never with the show of force and in some cases reckless shows of force.
Mm-hmm. So what's been the reaction to the first ever use of the Emergencies Act that's blocked travel to the rallies and even the bank accounts of some non-violent demonstrators?
The reaction, well, we knew we'd be assailed. I mean, we knew that we were going to be attacked. We knew that they'd take any chance that they could to weaken us either financially, morally, or otherwise. So it's really not surprising. There's some things that have happened that are just really offside, though. They talk about all these people being arrested. It didn't mean that they were charged. I talked to 3 people yesterday who were arrested, i.e. put in handcuffs, put in the back of a police cruiser, and then they were driven 20 to 30 kilometers out of the town and dropped on a road, expected to find their own way back with no paperwork, no warrant, no charges at the end of it. It was just catch and release program. So I wonder how many of those numbers you say are actually that instead.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And given this crackdown by the police, how long do you think your movement can survive given this coordinated offensive by the establishment?
Survive, dude. Yeah. This is gonna make us thrive. People are as excited as anything. This hasn't dampened their spirits whatsoever. We as a protesting group. Now, I don't know a lot of these protests. These people came in from all over the place, and they've been in the freedom fight for a lot of different reasons. Now, these truckers are they came out of left field. And when they came down, all of a sudden, all of the freedom fighters who had been doing something somewhere else went, this is it. And they coordinated their efforts. They came together, and it was 3 weeks of bliss. I mean, the kindness, the random acts of kindness, the generosity shown, the help that was given by protesters to protest. It was just incredible. Mm-hmm. People were showing up with envelopes of money and giving them away to people. I'd never seen anything like it. Mm-hmm. So this crackdown was just a way to polarize us together.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess given your response to my last question, that moves me on nicely to the next one. How long do you plan, or how long do you think these rallies will continue?
Till the end. They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop. These people, see, there's a saying that says that there's got to be a hill that you're willing to die on. Well, guess what? The majority of the people I don't know about majority. The majority of people I spoke to believe that this is the hill to die on, because if we don't do it, not only do we lose our own country, but the world loses their way of life. And that's just, it was so unexpected to see the international response to this, and so damn encouraging. So we can't stop now.
Mm-hmm. So does this whole crackdown by the government raise serious questions about Canadian democracy itself?
My God, yes, brother. That is not maple syrup and hockey sticks, man. They got rubber bullets, they got tear gas, they got batons, and they a lot of these people, the police, if you'll notice, a lot of them didn't have names on their things. And a lot of them, there's private contractors coming in. There are corrections officers that are given temporary arresting powers. There's all levels of army. There's people coming in from out of the country. So basically, our leader, the prime minister, has decided not to talk with the convoy people, instead employ all of his financial resources to bring in the force to just make them do his will, and it ain't going to work.
Mm-hmm. And given how PM Trudeau has handled this situation, are public attitudes towards him changing, and if so, how?
In a big way. What's happening is we were the fringe minority with unacceptable views, if you'll remember what the PM said about us. Misogynist, racist, fringe minority with unacceptable views. Well, now what's happened is the middle market, all of the people that were just kind of sitting on the fence, maybe had a couple of vaccines, maybe had a booster, they're starting to clue into the fact that unless they are on this regimen on an ongoing basis, their vaccine passport or whatever your country's equivalent is no longer going to be valid, which that means you are on a needle program forever if you want to continue to work or do anything else productive. And that's just something that middle market is starting to tune into. And now you're seeing, it used to be people were anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, not anymore. This is engineers, doctors from every single walk of life who see that this is a real threat.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jim, I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Thank you very much for your insights into those developments of the Freedom Convoy protest. That's Freedom Convoy protester Jim Kerr. Thank you.
Excellent, brother. And if you want to find us, Church of Bubbles on YouTube and all the other platforms, Church of Bubbles.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,